Record. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasim Tato Jayamudire. Nashtapraishu Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishliki. Text 15. Mito yadai sambhavita vivado madhya mata tamra vilochanam Naishamuvadopaya Dhyanato Neo Maya Udyate Nitata Tate Swayam Sma.
When they quarrel among themselves, influenced by intoxication, with their eyes red like copper because of drinking madhu, then only will they disappear, otherwise it will not be possible. On my disappearance, this incident will take place.
Evam Sanchitya Bhagavan Swarajya Stapya Dharmajam Nandayam Asa Shuritaha Sadhunam Vajmadharshayan.
Lord Shri Krishna, thus thinking to himself, established Maharaj Yudhishthira in the position of supreme control of the world in order to show the ideal of administration on the right path of pity.
Uttarayam Tritaha Purar Vamsha Sattviya Bhimanyuna Savaitrauniyashva Samplishtaha Punar Bhagavata Tritaha.
The embryo of Puriyu's descendants, begotten by the great hero Abhimanyu, in the womb of Uttara, his wife was burnt by the weapon of the son of Drona, but later he was again protected by the Lord.
Maya Jaya Dharma Sutam Ashvamedhastripir Vibhu Sopi Krishnam Anujai Rakshan Reme Krishnam Anuvrataha.
The Supreme Lord induced the son of Dharma to perform 3 horse sacrifices, and the Maharaj Yudhishthira, constantly following Krishna, the personality of Godhead, protected and enjoyed the earth, assisted by his younger brothers.
Bhagavanapi Vishvatma Lokaveda Tathanugaha Kaman Shisheva Vatyam Asaktaha Sankhyam Ashtitaha.
Simultaneously, the personality of Godhead enjoyed life in the city of Dwarka, strictly in the conformity with the Vedic customs of society. He was situated in detachment and knowledge, as insinuated by the Sankhya system of the philosophy.
Snigdhasmita Valokena Vacha Piyushakalpaya Charitrena Navadyena Sriniketana Chatmana.
He was let in his transcendental body, the residence of the goddess of fortune. With his usual gentle and sweetly smiling face, his nectarine words, and his flawless character.
Imam Lokamamum Chaiva Ramayan Sitaram Yadun Remishana Daya Tatta Shana Shriti Shana Sauridaha.
The Lord enjoyed his pastimes both in his world and in other worlds, higher planets, specifically in the association of the Yadu dynasty, at leisure hours offered by night. He enjoyed the friendship of dual love with women.
तस्य वां रामस्य संवत्सरगणान् बहून् गृहामेतेषु योगेषु विरगः समजायत.
The Lord was thus engaged in a household for life for many, many years, but at last his detachment from ephemeral sex life was fully manifested.
दैवाधीनेषु कामेषु दैवाधीना स्वयं पुमान् को विश्वम्भेत योगेन योगेश्वरम् अनुसृताः.
Every living entity is controlled by a supernatural force, and thus his sense enjoyment is also under the control of that supernatural force. No one, therefore, can put his faith in Lord Krishna's transcendental sense activities, but one who has become a devotee of the Lord by rendering devotional service.
Puryam kadachit kritatpir kumarakve kopita munaya shepur bhagavan mata vidaha.
Once upon a time, great sages were made angry by the sporting activities of the princely descendants of the Yadu and Bauja dynasties, and thus, as desired by the Lord, the sages cast them.
Tatha katipayamase Vishni bhojantara kakadayaha yayuva prabhashtam samhrishta rather deva vimohita.
A few months passed, and then, bewildered by Krishna, all the descendants of the Vrishni, Bhoja, and Andhaka, who were incarnations of demigods, went to Prabhasa, while who were eternal devotees of the Lord did not leave but remained in Dwaraka.
Atra snatva pitrin devan rishim straiva tadam vasa dharpai tattva viprepyo bahu gunadadu.
After arriving there, all of them took bath, and with their water of and with the sorry, and with the water of this place of pilgrimage, they offered the respects to their forefathers, demigods and great sages, and thus satisfied them. They gave cows to the Brahmas in royal charity.
Yam rajatam shayam vasam siyajina kambalan kambalan yanam ratan kanya nam vritti karim api.
The Brahmas were not only given well-fed cows in charity, but also gold coins, bedding, clothing, animal skin seats, blanket, horses, elephants, girls, and sufficient land for maintenance.
Annam churiyatam tevyo tattva bhagavatarpanam goviprartha savashuraha prane murbhuvi murtabhihi.
Thereafter, they offered the Brahmas highly delicious foodstuffs, first offered to the personality of Godhead, and offered their respectful obeisances by touching their heads to the ground. They lived perfectly by protecting the cows and the Brahmanas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Devika Mataji and Panchali Mataji. Very beautiful recitations. Very divine. Thank you so much. Okay, we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly coming to Srimad Bhagavatam to hear few words. Yes, so before we enter into Srimad Bhagavatam, first of all, we offer our obeisances to our acharyas, gurus, and Krishna, and all the devotees. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृणुतां स्वकताः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्थो ह्य भद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृसतां नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। एते चांशकलाः पुंसः कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं मृडयन्ति युगे युगे। इदं भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्मसंहितम् उत्तमश्लोकचरितं चकार भगवान् ऋषिः निःश्रेयसाय लोकधन्यं स्वस्तये नमः। कृष्णे सुदामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह खलु न शुश्रामेष पुराणार्कोऽधिनोदितः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रये। अथ विश्वेश विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशमिं चिन्तिदुहं पाण्डुषुरिष्णुषुं त्वयि मेनन्यविषया मतिर्मदपते सकृत् रतिमुद्वह तद्धा गङ्गेव भूदन्वति। श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सख विष्णु वृषभावनिधृराजन्योंशधनानपवर्धवीर्य गोविन्द गोद्विज सुराट हरावतार योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते। योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते। योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते। तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गीसङ्गस्य मत्येनां किमुताशशः पुनश्च भूयाद्भगवत्यनन्ते रतिः प्रसङ्गश तदाश्रयेषु महस्तु यामुपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्रस्य सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः। ॐ नमो भगवते राधा गोविन्दाय नमः। हरे कृष्ण। Krishna dear devotees, thank you so much. Okay, so I shall share my screen. Okay, so far we have completed 3 chapters in the third canto. So today we are doing the summary of third chapter. This is the Lord pastimes out of Vrindavan. So it is remembrance of Krishna's pastimes. The previous chapter is remembrance of Krishna. So Uddhava is remembering Krishna in the Vrindavan. So Krishna's pastimes until he is of the Kishore age, he was performing, and he had got a dance with the all the gopis. And then after he performed so many leelas in the Vrindavana, and then he moved to Madura. So that is where this Lord's pastimes out of Vrindavana. It starts in the chapter 3. So we completed chapter 3. So we are revising this chapter 3 in a summary way. So here, Uddhava is remembering, Uddhava he is speaking. So here, Lord says that whoever remembers my pastimes, they would not attain another birth again. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatpataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam yeti. So Arjuna. So that's like tasma sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaridhya cha mayarpita mano buddhir mam evaishisi asamsayaha. So that is the Krishna statement. So here Uddhava is remembering. Uddhava is the more dearer to devotee. न ततामि प्रीतम आत्मयोनिः न शङ्करः न च सङ्कर्षुनु न श्रीः न एवात्मा च यथा भवान्. O Uddhava, I do not like more than you. I do not like Brahma or Shiva or Sankarsana or Lakshmi Devi or even myself more than you. So you are such a dear to me. Likewise, Krishna says to Uddhava. So that Uddhava is remembering all the pastimes of Krishna here outside of Vrindavana. So here, whenever he enters into Madura, tatah sagatya puram swapitroho chikeshayasham baladeva samvitaha nipatya tungad ripuyotanatam hatam vyakashad vyasumo vojasorvyam. So here, Lord Krishna, he went to Madura city along with Baladeva to please their parents. There, Krishna, he dragged Kamsa down from his throne and killed him, pulling him along the ground with great strength. So Kamsa is the demonic, he is the leader of the public enemies. And Krishna, he pulled down, and that is where his pastimes in the outside of Vrindavan starts in the Madura. So after that, he has relieved Devaki and Vasudeva from the uh, prison of Kamsa, and then later on Krishna and Balaram, they spoke very with sweet words to Devaki Devi, and so because you we could not be with you during the hard times. Now we are here, and now at least we get an opportunity to serve you. Likewise, with so sweet words in the previous chapter, Uddhava was remembering. Now after that, Vasudeva, he wanted to send Krishna and Balarama to the school. So there he has studied his education from the Sandipani Muni. सान्दीपनेः सकृत् प्रोक्तं ब्रह्माद्यस्य सविस्तरम् तस्मै प्रासाद् वरं पुत्रं मृतं पंचजन उदरात्. So there he has learned all the skills, 64 arts in 64 days from the Sandipani Muni, just by hearing Sakrit Proktam just only once. As soon as he heard once, and Krishna learned everything. And these are Brahmaditya Savistaram, all the knowledge. After learning all these things, in order to give the Guru Dakshina to his Guru, Tasmai Prasad Varam Putram, and Mritam Panchajana Udarat, and his Guru Sandipani, his child was dead in the ocean. So, as a rendering Guru Dakshina, so he mentioned that my son, I am expecting my son to be alive back. So, knowing his spiritual master's desire, Krishna went and then he brought back the dead son of his guru. And then further, his school education is completed. Later on, it is his marriage time. And there, Samahuta Bhishmaka Kanyaye Shriyaha Savarnena Bhuvoshayisham Gandharvritya Mishtam Subhagam Jehre Padamudni Dadat Supannaham. And Samahuta Bhishmaka Kanyaye. Bhishmaka Kanya, this is Rukmini Devi, the daughter of Bhishmaka. And there, Shriyaha Savarnena Bhuvoshayisham. And she is so beautiful. She is Shriya Savarnena Bhusha Isham Gandharvritya. And Krishna, he has kidnapped Rukmini Devi Gandharvritya in such a custom, carrying her. And then Jahre Padam Mudni Dadat Suparnaha. Just like a Garuda, he steals the nectar from the demigods. Likewise, Krishna kidnapped Rukmini Devi from the Kundina Nagara, that is the Bhishmaka's kingdom. Samahutta Bhishmaka Kanyaye Shriya Savarnena Bhushayisham Gantarvirutya. So this is after Krishna received the letter from Rukmini Devi through Brahmana, and Krishna was very pleased and came alone, and also Baladeva and all the army also accompanied Krishna later on, and then during the Durga Devi Puja, and also Rukmini Devi also gave the plan to Krishna when to kidnap without much killings, and Krishna came there and he took Rukmini Devi onto his chariot, and then he went to Dwaraka. And then further going to the next pastime, so Buddha is remembering about the Krishna, he subduing the 7 bulls while marrying to Nagnijiti. Kukudmino avidha anusodhamitva swayamvare Nagnijiti muvaha tad bhagnamanapi grujyato ajnan jajne akshata satra brutaha swasestraihi. Kukidmina, the bulls, avidhanasaha, these bulls, they do not have the noses pierced. So they are very strong, and no one could defeat these 7 bulls. So at that time, Krishna, he has expanded himself into the 7 forms, 7 Krishnas, and then each Krishna is fighting with 1 bull. So just in order to show, by the time Krishna married Rukmini by the time itself, and in order to prove that Nagnijiti's father, that even though I am one, I am able to maintain all of my family equally. So likewise, he expanded into 7 Krishnas, and he subdued the 7 bulls. That is in the Nagnijiti Swayamvara. Swayamvare Nagnijitim Vuvaha. After that, he married to Nagnijiti. And Tad Bhagnanamapi Grujjito Ajnan. Even though the kings there who were defeated, even though Ajnan, but they are the fools, but still they wanted to fight. Even though they were defeated, but still they wanted to fight and they wanted to take Nagnijiti there. But here, Jagain Akshataha, Krishna, he killed or wounded them. Akshataha, without being wounded by Krishna, he did not get any hurt at all. But Krishna killed them or wounded them. By those people attacked Krishna with Sastrabrutaha, Swasastraihi. But Krishna, with his own weapons, he killed them or wounded them, but he did not get any hurt from any of them. So that Buddha is remembering that pastime. And then further, next one is Buddha is remembering about his pastime with the Satyabhama, and once this is about the Krishna killing Naraka and then getting these earrings of Aditi Mata and also Varuna's umbrella from the Naraka, and then while he was returning this to Aditi Devi, umbrella to Varuna, at the time Satyabhama has seen the Parijata tree in the heaven. She wanted to have that tree in the Dwaraka. So at the time when Krishna was taking that one back to Dwaraka, so Indra, he was by influencing by his wives, so he was trying to fight with Krishna, just like a Kridamruga. So this is a Priyam Prabhugrami Iva Priyaya Viditsu Suracha Gataram Yadatte Vajri Adravattam Saguno Rushandaha Kridamrugo Nunam Ayam Vadhunam. Indra is called as Kridamruga, who is like a puppet in the hand of the wife. Kridamrugo Nunam Ayam Vadhunam. But whereas Krishna, he is trying to fulfill the desires of his wives, but his wives are, though he's acting as like a um, uh, just like ordinary husband, but actually Govindo Bhagavan Bhakta Vachalaha. Bhagavan api Govindo is the Bhakta Vachalaha. So here यत्पाद शुश्रूषण मुख्य कर्मण सच्चादयो ध्वस्त सहस्रयोषितः निर्जित्य संकेतिदशां तदाशिषो हरन्ति वज्रायुध वल्लभ उचिताः. So here yatpada susrushana mukhya karmana satchadayoho dvasta sahasrayoshitaha. So all 60,108 wives, they have served Krishna with love and devotion. That devotion made Krishna to convince to fulfill the desires of his devotees. That is the reason, but not just like because they are beautiful wives. So Krishna is the Bhakta Vatsalaha. This is Susruna Yatpada Susrushana Mukhya Karmana. So that's why even though it is very difficult to get it, it's not difficult, but he got from the heaven to fulfill, to make Satyabhama happy. Haranti Vajrayuda Vallabha Uchitaha. The Sati Devis are opulences. That is the Parijata tree. So the Kridamruga is the Krishna. Kapiladev Bhagavan explains that everyone are like a Kridamruga in this material world except Narayana Rishi. So they are not convinced by any of the women feminine form. Yeah, otherwise everyone are under the illusion of पश्चिमे पश्चिमे फलं मायाय स्त्रीमय जैनोदिशां कुर्वन्ति पदाक्रान्तान् कुर्वन्ति पदाक्रान्तान् भ्रूविजृम्भेन केवलम्. A woman make the man just like a Kridamruga, and by just the movements of eyebrows, kurvanti padakrantan. It doesn't matter whatever the opposite person, the man he is, he will the woman make him to come to her feet. Padakrantan. So that's why Kapil Bhagavan says, whoever is more addicted to the womanly nature, women's or having such kind of bad habits, one should not associate with such kind of people, Kridamrugas. So here, though Indra is a Kridamruga, but he thinks that Krishna is in another way. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, he's a henpecked husband, but he thinks that Krishna is the henpecked husband in the incorrect way. Okay, and then further, so at that time, not only that one, Kashchit Puri Sudharmayam, the Krishna also brought the Sudharma Sabha from the heaven. So that is, so this is also mentioned, Kashchit Puri Sudharmayam, Sukamaste Suhrut Vritaha. Yudhishthira asks Arjuna when he returned from Dwaraka after Krishna departed from this world, while inquiring about the Krishna's well-being. So at that time, Yudhishthira mentions that Krishna Bhagavan api Govindo Bhagavan Bhaktavachalaha. So is he happy in the Dwaraka? Likewise, he is asking, and Kashit Puri Sarmayam Sukamaste Suhrutaha, whether Krishna is happy in that Sudharma Sabha where there is no birth, old age, disease, and death as long as that is there. So that is another pastime. And then coming to the next verse, here Uddhava is remembering again how Krishna has got all the stolen items from the Narakasura. Their Bhumi Devi, she has given all of them. Sutam Rudekam Bhukshagrasantam Drushtva Kunabha Unmatitam Daritriya Amantritaha Tattanayaya Shesham dattva tadantah purumavivesham. So, and then Krishna has taken all the stolen things, and here Bhumi Devi has returned, and then later on, Tat Tanayaya Shesham, and the leftover kingdom, it is given to Bhagadatta, who is son of Narakasura, and then later on, he entered into the Antapura. Datpatad Antaha Puramavivesha, Krishna entered where all this Narakasura has kidnapped so many of queens, daughters of so many kings, princesses. So let us see what he is doing further, otherwise remembering in the next verse. And Tatra Hutaha ta Naradeva Kanyaha Kujena Drishtva Harimata Bandhum Uttai Sadjo Jagruhu Praharsha Viriranu Prehitava. And there, as soon as he entered into the Antapura there, Tatra Hutaha ta Naradeva Kanyaha. These are the daughters of the kings. Kujena Drishtva Harimata Bandhum. And all these 16,000 women, they are seeing Krishna. Krishna is Harim Atabandhum, who is the friend of the distressed. Just one by the glance of Krishna, it is a Sokashu Sagar Vishoshanam Ati Udharam. So just by Krishna, as soon as he glances, all of one's distress will be completely eradicated out. So here now all the 16,000 princesses, they are looking at Krishna, who is Harimatta Bandhum. And then Uttaya Sajjo Jagruhu Praharsha Viranuraga Prahita Avalokaihi. And they are, by their glances, they are expressing their desire that they wanted to become the wives of Krishna. So now Krishna, he himself, they went there, and then now it is for their very fortune position that they wanted to become wives of Krishna. So they looked upon him with eagerness, joy, and shyness, and offered to be his wives. And then as soon as they said, Krishna says, yes, let us go and get married. So it is again, Krishna never said no to anyone. Asa muhurta ekasmin nanagareshu yoshitam savidam jagurhe panin anurupaha swamayaya. And then, there in the house of the demon, all the princesses kidnapped by Narakasura at once became alert upon seeing the Lord, the friend of the distressed. Okay, this is the next one. And then in the next verse, all those princes were lodged in different apartments, and the Lord simultaneously assumed different bodily expansions exactly matching each and every princess. If the princess is lean, Krishna make himself like Anurupaha Somaya, just like in order to suit that wife. Anurupaha Somaya by his internal potency. He accepted their hands in perfect rituals by his internal potency. He expanded that many number of forms, 16,000 forms, 16,100 forms, and he married all the princesses at once. So that is here, again, it shows the Krishna's opulence. No one has done in the past this kind of marriage. One person expanding into that many number of forms. It is all Krishna's opulence. Asa muhurta ekasmin nanagareshu yoshitam. So this one is okay. This one here, Narada Muni, he was witnessing all Krishna's pastimes in each and every palace. What Krishna is doing. There's a number of very beautiful pictures. It cannot show all the palaces, but in Dwarka there are 16,108 palaces. They're all very beautiful, and they're every and also on top of it, the queen's palaces are more opulent. Of course, Krishna is equivalent to everyone. And then after that, after marriage of all these princes, and then what Krishna did? Tasu apatyani ajanayad atmatulyani sarvataha ekaikasyam dasha dasha prakritehe vibhushaya. So in each and every wife, Krishna has begotten 10 sons. They are exactly like the Atmatulyani Sarvataha. It is similar to Krishna, Atmatulyani Sarvataha. Every one of them and of exactly his own qualities. Atmatulyani. And he begot, and then, so that means 16,108 wives multiplied by 10, that many number of children, sons he has got. And then further, his opulence is when after married, again, further past time, Buddha is remembering. Kalamagada salva, salvadhin, anikaihi rudantah puram, ajiganat swayam divyam sukumsam tej adishat. So there were so many demons, they were attacking Krishna, like Kalyavana, the king of Magadha, and Salva, when attacked the city of Mathura. But when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. And all Krishna's soldiers and his associates are all as much powerful as Krishna. It is also mentioned in the first canto of Bhagavatam, in order to fight the enemies. And here the Salva, who is the person who fought with Bhishma Deva as well. So Amba, Ambika, Ambalika, the three princess daughters of the Kasi Raja, out of those things, one of the daughter, Amba, she loved this particular person, Salva. But when Bhishma Deva got these three princesses taken from that Swayamvara to give it to Vichitravirya, later on Amba mentioned to Bhishma Deva that I have loved, I am desiring to marry Salva, but you have kidnapped me. But Bhishma says to Amba, saying that you can just go and marry Salva. But whenever she went to Salva, Salva did not accept her, because by the time Bhishma, he has defeated Salva in that Swayamvara as well. But later on, the Salva, he attacked Madura city. During that time, Pradyumna and all the Edu family were fighting with Salva. By the time, he had got so many trickeries as well. And later on, when Krishna, during that time, he was in Hastinapura, and he returned back to returned back to Dwaraka. And then, knowing that Salva is fighting, and he went there, and then he has killed. But even Salva tricked Krishna as well. So, but here it was he left those people without killing them, just to show the power of his own men. Okay, and then further, Uddhava is remembering. Shambharam Dvividam Bhanum Muram Balvalam Evacha Anyam च Dantavakradim Anavad Avadhit Kamsha Ghatayet. And there are so many other demands like Shambhara, Dvivida, Bana, Mura, Balvala, and many other demands such as Dantavakra. Some he killed himself, some he caused to be killed by others like Baladeva, so etc. And then further, Krishna has performed Sakarna Dushasana Sobhalanam Kumantrapakena Hata Sriyayusham Suyodanam Sanucharam Sayanam Suyodhanam Sa Anucharam Sayanam Bhagna Guru Murvyam Nananda Pasyan. And then Uddhava is remembering how Krishna has killed the so many soldiers in the Kurukshetra. So during the time, Duryodhana, by listening to the instructions of Karna, Dushasana, and also Shakuni, all of their bad instructions to Duryodhana, Duryodhana has lost all his opulences and all his kingdom. And though he is very powerful, his thighs were broken by Bhima. But when he was fell on the floor with the thighs broken, Krishna was not pleased by looking at the scene. So, and then further Uddhava is remembering. So there, why that Duryodhana, his thighs were broken, that part was, again, there is a past time when though Duryodhana, all of his body was very strong and immune to any kind of hittings by any opposite enemy. So by the blessings of Gandhari, she has applied some kind by her glance, by whatever the merit acquired by her tapasya, she has glanced except that part, thighs part. But there was again Krishna stick there to keep that part still vulnerable. So because Bhima has also promised that I am going to kill you by kicking your thigh, so that Bhima has promised in that whenever Draupadi was insulted in the Kaurav Sabha, Asat Sabha. So because of many reasons, now Duryodhana, his thighs broken, although he was powerful, but still Lord was not happy to see the scene. And then further, Uddhava is remembering, कियान् भोऽयं चेपितोरुभारो यद्रोण भीष्मार्जुन भीममूलैः अष्टादश अक्षौणीको मदंशैः आस्ते बलं दुर्विशहं यदूनाम्. And by the help of Drona, Bhishma, Arjuna, and Bhima, many of these warriors, and he has reduced the strength of the burden of the earth. So, एवं रूपाणां चितिबालजन्मनम् अक्षोहिणीभिः परिवृत्त तेजसां विदाय वैरं स्वसुनो यथानलं मितो वदेन उपरेतो निरायुधः. Krishna, without touching any weapon, he made like a by the wind in the forest, the two bamboo sticks rubbed each other and the fire burns out of it, and that fire will make this entire forest burn. Likewise, Vidaya Vairam Swasuno Yatadalam. In such a way, Krishna made the enviousness between these Pandavas and the Kauravas, and he made them to kill each other. Mitovadena, among themselves. Mitovadena Uparato Nirayudaha. But Krishna did not touch any of those things. But likewise, Evam Rupanam Kitibarjanmanu Aktohinebihi Paruta Tejisam. So lots of burden of earth was reduced. Bharatanya Bhuvana Yodharu Chirincha Bhuri Bharena Jato Yadma Bhuaditaha. So one of the Arjuna's prayer that, oh my dear Lord, you appear to reduce the burden of the earth. So likewise here, Krishna, by the help of Drona, Bhishma, they're opposite side, but they're killing the Pandava side army, and Arjuna and Bhima are killing the opposite army. Likewise, the totally 18 Akshaunis were reduced. The strength of that much of soldiers were died. And then later on, thinking that there is still a great strength of the Yadu dynasty born of myself, which may be more unbearable burden. So Krishna Yadu family is more strong. Aste bhalam durishaham yadunam, unbearable burden. So if we just go now, who will be killing all these people? So no one can face this Yadu dynasty. So Krishna thinks that further, mito yadesham bhavito vivadho madhvamadat madhvamadatamra vilochananam naisham vadopaya iyan atonyo mayi udhyate antardhate swayam sma. When they quarrel among themselves, influenced by intoxication, with their eyes red like copper because of drinking madhu, then only will they disappear. Otherwise, it will not be possible. On my disappearance, this incident will take place. So likewise, Krishna is thinking. And then later on, by the Krishna's arrangement, whatever happened, we will see that one later in the verse. And then further, that is the Krishna's thought. So Uddhava is remembering. And then further, after Kurukshetra battle, Yudhishthira is now established. Yudhishthira, he was looking and like all his kingdom, Apipala Dharmarajaha, Putravad Ranjayan Prajaha, just like a father. And then Nispruhaha Sarvakamebhyaha Krishna Padanusevya, by thinking of only lotus feet of Krishna, he was without any material desires. Nispruhaha Sarvakamebhyaha Krishna Padanusevya, while maintaining himself, he looked after his citizens like a father. So now, एवं संचिन्त्य भगवान् स्वराज्ये स्थाप्य धर्मजं नन्दयामा सुहृदः साधूनां वत्म दर्शयन्. So here, Lord Krishna, thus thinking to himself, established Maharaj Yudhishthira in the position of supreme control of the world in order to show the ideal administration on the path of piety. On the path of piety. So now Krishna is pleased. So now Yudhishthira is here. There is no more irreligious persons on the throne. And by the time Yudhishthira has already performed Rajasuya sacrifice, in the past there was Harishchandra did Rajasuya sacrifice, later on Yudhishthira did Rajasuya sacrifice. In order to perform Rajasuya sacrifice, one has to conquer so many kings of the world. Otherwise, he cannot become a king. So Yudhishthira did that one piously with the help of Krishna. And then after that, Krishna, after Kurukshetra battle again, Yudhishthira became the king. And then further what happened? Buddhava is remembering, Uttarayam Dhritaha Purorvamshaha Sadbhavi Savaidhronya Astra Samplashtaha Punar Bhagavata Dhritaha. So this is about the Parikshit Maharaj. In the womb of Uttara. Uttara is the wife of Abhimanyu. So at that time, by the weapon of Drona, son of Drona, so he was burnt, but still he was protected by the Lord later on. The embryo of Puru's descendant begotten by the great hero Abhimanyu in the womb of Uttara, his wife was burned by the weapon of the son of Drona, but later he was again protected by the Lord. Punar Bhagavata Drutaha, that is Punar Bhagavata Drutaha. Again he was revived. So Krishna Angusta Matramamalam Spurat Purata Maulinam Apivya Darshanam Shamam Tharidvasam Achyutam Srimad Dirga Chaturbahum Tatta Kanchana Kundalam Chadhyakcham Gadapani Matmanaha Saruto Drusham Paribhramantam Vulkabham Brahmayantam Gadamuhu. So here Krishna in the Angusta Matram, just like a tip of thumb size. Likewise, he entered into the womb of Uttara. He was Paribhramantam Ulkabham Brahmayantam Gadamuhu. By taking his mace, Kaumodikam. Kaumodikam is it will punish all the miscreants and trying to protect the Parikshit here in the womb of Uttara. So here the Uddhava is remembering that pastime as well. How Krishna re-established the life of Parikshit and who is going to be the future king later on after Yudhishthira. Okay, that is there. And then going to the next further. After now Yudhishthira is in the throne, and what Krishna made Yudhishthira to perform 3 best Ashwamedha yajnas. And also Sesasagam Ivajita Anuja. So Iva Anuja Ashrita. So here his brothers, Yudhishthira's brothers Bhima and then Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva. So while they are supporting Yudhishthira, he was ruling the kingdom. Pitra Anumodita Vasudeva Anumoditaha. So by taking the permission of Dhritarashtra and Krishna, and then Krishna's instructions and Bhishma Devi instructions, Vijnana, Vidota Vibhrama. So by completely free from all kinds of doubts, so he has ruled the kingdom with the support of his brothers. And here, Ayaja Yadharma Sutam Ashwamedaihi Tribihi Vibhuhu Sopi Kshmam Anujaihi Rakshan Reme Krishnam Anuvrataha. Krishnam Anuvrataha. He is always following in the footsteps of Krishna. Krishna, the personality of Godhead, constant follower, Anuvrataha. That is, the Supreme Lord induced the son of Dharma to perform 3 hot sacrifices, and Maharaj Yudhishthira, constantly following Krishna, the personality of Godhead, protected and enjoyed the earth, assisted by his younger brothers. So this is the all summary of the pastimes that we are going through. We are not going one particular, so this is summary. So later on, what Buddhava is remembering, Bhagavan api Vishwatma Loka Veda Patanugaha Kaman Shisheve Dvarvacham Asaktaha Sankyam Asitaham. Bhagavan api Vishwatma. Krishna, he is the soul of this universe. Loka Veda Patanugaha. And he followed the Vedic principles. Kamam Shisheve. And he he was enjoying all kinds of the necessities of life. Dwarvatyam, Dwarvatyam in the Dwaraka, in the city of Dwaraka, and Asaktaha Sankyam Asitaha, with the knowledge of the Sankhya philosophy, he is not attached to any of these materialistic enjoyments. He is always Atmaram. He is the Atmarama. So he's always self-satisfied. But still, here Buddha is remembering Sankyam Mahitaha, Krishna with full knowledge, and even though Asaktaha, Asaktaha is the without being attached. He enjoyed all kinds of necessities of life. So in strictly in conformity with the Vedic customs of the society. Okay, so that is that verse, and then what Krishna did. Snigdhasmitavalokeena vacha piyusha kalpaya. And by his snigdhasmita avalokena, his beautiful smile, and piyusha vacha piyusha kalpaya, and he is very his words are very nectarian words. Vacha piyusha kalpaya. Charitrena anavadhyena, without any flaws. Anavadhyena, without flaw. His character is like Charitrena anavadhyena. That's why we're all coming to Krishna, that for the purificatory purposes. Sriniketena Chatmana, and his body is the Sriniketana, Sriniketana Cha Atmana. It is the residence of the goddess of fortune. And with his तैर्दर्शन अवयवैः उदार विलासहास्यक्षित वामसूक्तैः कृतात्मनोक्त प्राणांश भक्तिः Anichitomi gatim anviyam prayinte. So Krishna smiles, his nectarian words, his flawless character, and his body is embodiment of Shri, that is the goddess of fortune. So he can attract anyone. He can. So Hasava Lokakalaya Ramayam Cha Vishwam. Ramayam Cha Vishwam. He will make the entire universe Ramayam. So he gives the pleasure to the entire universe by his smiles, gentle smiles. Snigdhavalokena. Snigdha Smita Avalokena. Vacha Piyusha Kalpaya. Charitrena Anavadhyena. Shriniketena Chatmana. When Krishna was entering into the Dwaraka, coming from the Hastinapura, at that time, many people were invited, giving so many gifts and everything to Krishna to please him. And then they started praying to Krishna, saying that Natasmatena das padam. There are 7 beautiful prayers of these citizens of Dwaraka. At the end, Krishna smiles, which will make their hearts fill. So that is the ultimate aim of the life. Whatever we do, we need to see the smile on the Krishna's face. Katam vayam nath chiroshite tvayi, chiroshite tvayi. That is likewise, there is another beautiful verse is there in that 11th chapter of first canto, how Krishna was smiling. So likewise, he lived with all his life with the flawless character. That's why all the devotees come to Parisham Shuddha Asayaha. That is Madharmo Gunairetaihi Parisham Shuddha Asayaha. One wanted to be free from all kinds of sinful activities and karmic reactions. That's why he is attracted to Krishna. Whoever got that desire, they will only come to Krishna. Not the people who have got material desires, they cannot come to Krishna. Just by Srutamatra Gunam Himam. Purushasya Anjisabhyeti Srutamatra Gunam Himam. Just by hearing the qualities of Krishna, everyone are attracted. That is the nature, flawless character of Krishna. So likewise, Lord enjoyed his pastimes both in this world and in other worlds, specifically in the association of Edu dynasty. At leisure hours offered by night, he enjoyed the friendship of conjugal love with women. This is Sarvakamam Anuttamam, with their very beautiful pastimes again. But it appears like a ordinary, but it is all divine. Imam lokam am chaiva ramayam sutaram yadun reme kshanadaya datta Kshanastrihi Kshanasauhrudaha. Likewise, Lord enjoyed his pastimes. And likewise, Lord enjoyed Tasyayum Ramamanasya Samvatsara Ganan Bahun Gruhamedeshu Yogeshu Viragaha Samajayata. He enjoyed that life for many, many years. At last, his detachment from the ephemeral sex life was fully manifested. So these are all pastimes of the outside of Vrindavana. And then further, Daivadineshu Kameshu Daivadinaha Swayam Puman Ko Vishrambeta Yogena Yogeshwaram Anurataha. So every living entity is controlled by the supernatural force, and thus his sense enjoyment is also under the control of that supernatural force. No one therefore can put his faith on Lord Krishna's transcendental sense activities, but one who has become a devotee of the Lord by rendering devotional service. Only devotees only come to Krishna, they understand Krishna. भक्त्यामाम् अभिजानाति यावान् शश्मि तत्पतः त्यक्त्वा deham punarjanma. So the devotees bhaktyamam abhijanati. So tato mam tatputo jnatva vishite tadanantaram. So they enter into the pastimes of Krishna, not by anyone else. All his activities are naham prakashah sarvasya yogamaya samavrittaha. His yogamaya covers them. Other people cannot understand except his devotees. And then further, what happens after that? Puryam kadachit kridadbihi. So this is the winding up pastimes of Krishna. Puryam kadachit kridadbihi yadubhoja kumarakaihi kopita muniyah tepuhu bhagwan matra kovida. So once upon a time, the great sages were made angry by the sporting activities of the princely descendant of the Yadu and Bhoja dynasties, and thus, as desired by the Lord, the sages cursed them, saying that in due course of time, all of your family, inclusive of everyone, will be ruined. Likewise, these curses cursed them. And then, knowing that curse, what Krishna has done, ततः कतिपयैः मासैः वृष्टिभोज अन्धकादयः ययुः प्रवासं संहृष्ट रतैः देवविमोहिताः. So after few months passed, bewildered by Krishna, this is the Devavimohitaha. All the descendants of Vishnu, Bhoja and Andaka, who are incarnations of demigods, went to Prabhasa, while those who were eternal devotees of the Lord did not leave but remained in Dwaraka, just like Uddhava and Daruka, such kind of people. And Vajranabha. So these are all did not leave the Dwaraka. And then further what happened? Tatra snatva pitrun devan dushim chaiva tadambhasa tarpayitvata viprebhyo gavo bahuguna daduhu. And there, after arriving there, all of them took bath, and with the water of this place of pilgrimage, they offered their respects to the forefathers, demigods, and great sages, and thus satisfied them. They gave cows to the Brahmanas in royal charity. All the Krishna's family, they are generous to the Brahmanas. So Krishna is Go Brahmana Hitayacha. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitayacha. So here, all this Yadu family, they have given cows to the Brahmanas in royal charity. So while they're offering respects to the forefathers, demigods, and great sages. And then further, Hiranyam Rajitam Sayam Vasami Ajina Kambalan Yanam Ratan Ivan Kanya Dharam Vritti Karimapi. So here what else they have given to Brahmanas? The Brahmanas were not only given well-fed cows in charity, but also gold coins, bedding, clothing, animal skin seats, and blankets, horses, elephants, girls, and sufficient land for maintenance. So they have given as in charity to the Brahmanas. And then further, after giving Annam cha ururasam tebhyo dattva bhagavad darpanam गोविप्रार्थ सभः सूराः प्रणेमुः भुवि मुद्दभिः प्रणेमुः भुवि मुद्दभिः. After giving annam cha guru rasam tebhyo dattva bhagavad arpanam, they have given the remnants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which was first offered to the Personality of Godhead. This Bhagavad Arpanam, they have given to the Brahmanas. Go Viprardha Asavaha Suraha Pranemuhu Bhuvi Muddhabihi. So thereafter they offered the Brahmanas highly delicious foods, first offered to the Personality of Godhead, and offered their respectful obeisances by touching their heads to the ground. They lived perfectly by protecting the cows and Brahmanas. So likewise, they're aligning with the Krishna's instructions. They're pleasing Brahmanas by giving all these foodstuffs. So here, foodstuffs offered to the personality of Godhead. That is what is given to Brahmanas. So in the Puri, for example, in the Puri Jagannath or Purushottama Kshetra, all the Jagannath Prasadam is distributed to all the temples. So even it is either Lord Shiva temple or Durga temple, whatever the temple it is. So all the prasadam coming from in the purport, Prabhupada explains that one. It comes from the Jagannath temple, which is first offered to the Vishnu, that is given as the prasadam and offering it to all other demigods, because Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So likewise, Brahmanas were pleased here by the Yadu family members. So the Krishna glorifies the Brahmanas about their glories. In the later on, in the 16 chapters of third canto, he says that नाहं तदास्मि यजमान हविर्विताने चोतद्भुतप्लुतमधन् ऋतुमुखेन यद्ब्राह्मणस्य मुखतः चरतोऽवकाशं तुष्टस्य मयि अभितैः निजकर्मपाकैः. So he says, I do not enjoy the oblations offered by the sacrifices in the sacrificial fire, which is one of my own mouths, with the same relish as I do the delicacies overflowing with the ghee, which are offered to the mouths of the Brahmanas, who have dedicated to me the results of their activities and who are ever satisfied with my prasada. So here Krishna is saying that the Lord is saying, if Brahmanas are eating, that gives me more pleasure than if you are performing any sacrifices and pouring the ghee, pouring the rice, which is uh, wetted with the ghee. Naham tadadmi yajman havirvitani chotad gutplamadu rudabuk mukena. Yad brahmanasya mukataha charatonugasam tustasya mai avhitaihi nijakarma pakaihi. When brahmanas are eating, and that gives me more pleasure. So likewise, that is Krishna states, this is when Narayana is speaking to Kumaras in the Vaikuntha. Likewise, here Krishna and all the Yadu family, they are treating the Brahmanas by giving so many of offerings, foodstuffs, clothes, and everything here. So with that one, that third chapter of third canto is completed. So of course, I am going each verse by without missing anything. So this is instead of summary, got more detail. So I stop here. Thank you so much, dear devotees. If you have got any questions, kindly raise, or you want to share anything, kindly share, or anything on Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Because it is a summary, so we have to go through more quickly. Any questions? Questions, no sharing? Okay, if there are no questions, then we shall conclude our session here. Okay, so this Krishna was speaking to Kumaras in the Vaikuntha about the Brahmanas. That is one thing. And Krishna was enjoying with all of his eternal pastimes with all the gopis in the Golok Vrindavan. And then further, Krishna is enjoying here with the 16,108 wives in the Dwaraka city. They are all very opulent. If you see this Dwaraka in a bird eye view, there are so many palaces. Okay, still these palaces are submerged in the water in the outside the western side of India, which are in the Arabian Sea. But we don't have access very easily to those palaces. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So I felt happy. We shall conclude this session today. Okay. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
कॉन्शियसनेस।
कृष्णा।
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.